Hey everyone, welcome back to the Corvids Coffee podcast. My name's Liz, and here with me today is Paige. Say hi, Paige.
Hi, Paige.
And we're going to be talking about books that we like now, maybe some books we read from like middle school, high school, and just like a bunch of stuff in between while we weather out the storm that is New England because there's
Yes,
like 10 to 20-ish inches out right now, and
it was
I
great.
can't see out my bedroom window.
Our cars are gone.
The cars are you saw the cars yesterday? Well, they're gone now. So let's do
They're just mountains.
Yeah, it was I thought it was gonna be like a blockade of snow at the door, but, like, I looked at my room is sort of, like, half a level down because when you go through the front, it's, like, little steps to kinda go down. So, I just stare out the window and it's, like, a good, like, maybe over half of the window is, like, blocked with snow right now.
We can't see our windows and our doors are blocked, although we can get out one.
No.
So,
You get out as long as you have one you can get out is good.
there you go.
Exactly, you just need the one. But, yeah, let's start with some books we read from middle school, high school kinda era. We could mix the 2.
Why asking me to remember?
I'm asking you to recall, but if you want, I can go first.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so there's, one of my favorite books, which I don't think I read for English, but I read it because I heard good things about it. It was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which deals a lot with mental health issues. The main character, Charlie, he's starting at a new school. He's starting in high school, and he's sort of like by himself. He's a wallflower, and there's a whole thing with, well, spoiler if you want to know about it. He went through a traumatic thing as a kid which affected his mental health greatly. So he writes, it's all in epistolary writing, so it's all letters from his point of view and
It's
recalling everything, which
what?
actually is really interesting.
What was the word you just said?
Epistolary.
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 Interesting.
It's a fancy one. I think it's a literary term for like almost like a diary sort of writing, like letters.
Oh,
Um, and we don't know who he's addressing. It's technically addressing the viewer. So the way he starts it as like somebody to just like, oh, I heard about you through a friend, so I'm writing you these letters, sort of like a sort of familiarity, but not really. So he's telling a story to the stranger. Technically, the stranger is us, the reader. I really recommend it. It's really good. There's another one that's like a book like what's it called? I think it's called Incredibly Close and Extremely Loud. Or no,
I've heard of
Extremely Loud
that
and Incredibly
title.
Close. And
Isn't
there's a
that one
movie for it.
about, like, the kid's parent dies in 9/11, I think?
Yes.
There's a movie about it. Extremely Loud and Incredibly
There
Close, I
is.
think.
Yes, that's the one. Tom Hanks is in it, Sandra Bullock's in it.
Mm,
And basically
love
this
Sandy
kid got
B.
home early. Love Sandy V, it's very good if you like it. The book's really good, and that one's all epistolary as well, but it's from a few different, points of view, and he's, like, this really young kid, and he gets back from school early, and he basically hears, his dad's trying to call the phone, and he's like I don't know why he doesn't pick up, I think he's, like, nervous, and I think he has let me quote it really quick, but I was gonna say it's a really it does I would say it has, like, somewhat good closure, but it's still, like, it's a heavy thing because his dad's literally calling from the building and can't get out.
Ugh,
Um, it's
uh,
it also, this one was, like I think I read this one in either middle school or high school, so, we were talking about me and Paige were talking about earlier how dark some of the stuff we read was, but it's also how
yeah,
important it is
yeah,
to know that stuff, because I remember we
mhm,
talked a lot about, like, the Holocaust and 9/11,
same,
and a lot of wars, in middle school and high school.
yeah, same. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is totally unrelated. I think Dracula is written in that style, epistolary?
Epistolary, yes, you are right, it is epistolary because
Okay,
it's,
okay. See, I'm
Jonathan
learning. I learn
Harker.
something new every day.
See?
Yeah,
Epistolary, that's the
yeah,
word of the day.
Jonathan Mina Van Helsing. Okay, cool. Anyway, unrelated.
So it
Continue.
does switch between a few. I think, Oscars goes between oh, man, oh, yeah, and he has, Asperger's, so he's very it's a neurodivergent main character, so he's, like, struggles with a lot of, like, empathy, recognition. He's very blunt sometimes. There's also a lot of, pictures in the book because he takes photos and he did this, like, kind of, scavenger hunt his dad left behind for him. So it's almost like clues to sort of get not clues necessarily, just stuff something he set up for his son because he knew he was different and made this for him as like a way to show he cares because it's very hard for Oscar to, he has a lot of social difficulties and sensory overload. and it's hard
Mhm.
for and his mom and him are adjusting to this life now without his dad.
I didn't
He
read
was
either
sad,
of
but
those
it's okay.
books in middle school, high school, but I know of them. I just, for some reason, never read them.
I
We
think I have a copy if you wanna read.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But
Um,
I remember reading The Great Gatsby, and I liked that one. And I was a big Rick Riordan fan when I was in middle school, so I read, like, all of the Percy Jackson books, loved them. And then he, like, has
oh,
now branched into the other types of mythos of different cultures, and I started one, I think, I don't think I ever finished it, about, ancient Egypt, I think. I don't know, I can't remember, this was a million years ago. But I was really big into Rick Riordan, and then middle school, as young millennial person in middle school in 2008, I was very much in my Twilight phase. So I read all those
I think we
books.
all were.
Yep, you couldn't talk to me about anything other than Twilight. It was I was annoying.
The separation
And
of
then
Team Edward and Team Jacob.
yeah, it was Edward for sure. And
Oh,
then high school, I read The Hunger Games, and I remember liking them, but now, like, I know there's new books. I'm not gonna read them. I remember being a fan of The Hunger Games in high school, but I'm not gonna read the new ones. I feel like that's I feel like I've aged out, if that makes sense.
I feel like even as, like, at our age, like which we're still young, don't doubt it, we're still young. I was gonna say you're only as old as you feel, and I feel like I still have the mind of, like a kid with my imagination and stuff, which I'm happy with. Plus, we're enjoying stuff, which is good. I feel like I've enjoyed, at least for me, I feel like I've enjoyed a lot more life now at this point in my life than when I was younger, but I also have
It's
more of a
good.
sense of who I am.
Yeah, it's that the frontal lobe, man. It's
It's
done
that frontal
developing.
lobe, it's very powerful.
It's frontal lobe.
Powerful stuff, man.
Yep.
But yeah, I was gonna say because Twilight was, such a big part, and then there was, like, the I feel like with a lot of YA novels, you can still
Mhm.
read them as, like, an adult because I feel like
Yeah.
there's just something more captivating about them too, and there's a lot of good stories, you know?
I think the movies kinda turned me
Some.
off from the book. So, the movies kinda turned
They're
me off
always
from the
different, you know?
books. I saw the first 2 Hunger Games movies, and then the rest of them I didn't watch. But the concept of the Hunger Games is kind of very similar to a Japanese film called Battle Royale, and it's
Mm.
basically the same thing, and it came out way before the Hunger Games, so in a way that kinda turned me off because it's like, have I been reading, like, something that could have been not plagiarized, but, like, the concept is very much the
Well,
same.
yeah, I mean, I think it definitely takes a lot of heavy inspiration, but a lot of things I feel like branch
It
off from,
is it's
like,
like
big ideas.
it's like the same thing.
Wait, I gotta look that one up. Wait,
It's a good
continue
movie,
talking
it's a
about it, I'm
very
just
good
looking it
movie,
up more.
but it's, post-apocalyptic kids killing each other.
Oh,
There's no, like, Katniss per se, but
but it's basically the same with,
basically the same thing, yeah.
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 Yeah, forced by the government to kill each other on an isolated island until only one survivor remains. Yep, that sounds
Yep,
okay,
yep.
so never mind, I
I
changed my
saw
stance.
that.
Some stuff
Someone
can be
showed me
different.
that when I was in college, and I was like, "Oh," it
Like,
was
this is
kind of like a
basically
glass-shattering moment.
the Hunger Games. The glass
Yeah.
ceiling is broken.
Yeah, because I was, like, talking to this person about how much I like The Hunger Games, and he was like, "Here's Battle
It's Battle
Royale,
Royale.
dude. This this came out way before," and I was like, "Okay." But I think that's why I can't, like, just go back into that universe for some reason. And even with, like, the Twilight books, like, the newer one she's released of, like, Life and Death and Midnight Sun, I've tried Midnight Sun, I tried it, and I just for some reason can't get back into it. So,
I feel like
I
I
think
heard some
that's
mixed reviews.
also my frontal lobe.
Well, I mean, as we were talking about earlier, when I was talking about the audiobook before we recorded, like, when I
Mhm.
listened to Life and Death, which I really liked, I have the copy of it, and it's sort of just very conclusive at the end. It's not like this is gonna start with more books that are about
Yeah.
it's a gender bent version of Twilight and written
Yeah.
10 years was it 10 years after,
Yeah.
Twilight was published? So, yeah, like, her writing style got a lot better, but
Yeah.
when I tried listening to the Twilight, like, book, I just hated, like, the way it was I feel like just the way it was written, and it might be the frontal lobe thing. It might be the frontal lobe being like,
It
"No,
could
this
be.
isn't, like, enough for me," or maybe it's just, like, it doesn't grasp me the same way as
Yeah.
when I was a kid, you know, or when I
Yeah.
was a teenager, like, it's
Like,
different.
middle school me was like, "Oh, yeah, he watches her when she sleeps. That's romantic." And now almost third-year-old me is
You're
like,
like, "Oh my
"That's
god."
creepy. That's creepy."
It is crazy. Well, I guess a
So
lot of stuff, like, I just looked up some stuff on, like, the frontal lobe changes. you kinda, like, lose like, you there's a loss of, like, impulse control,
Mhm.
which can have, reduced motivation, intense emotional outbursts, difficulty understanding or responding to feelings of others. There can be stuff with, like, just difficulty with, like, organization and, like, difficulty staying
Yeah.
focused. But I wanna look up the good stuff, so let me see, the good changes. The good
No, I think it's
changes
just it's cool to see, like, what we were into reading and what we had to read for school versus what we read now
yeah,
as, quote, unquote, "grown-ups."
grown-ups, quote yeah,
Yeah, because
we're
now
grown-ups now.
I still like, middle school, high school, reading like, supernatural stuff, paranormal stuff was
Mhm,
my and then I went to college and, I was just so busy, I didn't, like, read a lot for
mhm.
fun because we had to read for
First time did
school, and
it.
it was just I just lost my love of reading, and then it wasn't until a few years ago that I was like, "Hey, I should start reading again." So I actually picked up what did I pick up? I picked up something horror, supernatural related, and that, like, broke my I called it my reading rut, and it broke my reading
Mhm.
rut, and now I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna read again." I'm not reading as much as I used to, but it's
Yeah, but you
better
gotta
than
redeem
it
it going.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah, but I still like supernatural, paranormal stuff. Vampires will always have a special place in my heart.
yes, they will. I got a good Anne Rice book I can give you then for that,
I
Interview with a
wanna try
Vampire.
her, but I think I'm scared.
We can read it together, then it'll be less scary.
Okay.
But you're like some good stuff that's happened with, frontal lobe changes. There's a
Mhm,
lot more, I know it says there's some bad ones that can happen, but I feel like with the proper, like, like, with the improvements and stuff with life, it's into mature your brain basically, bam, matures,
mhm,
fully, I guess you could say,
mhm,
enhances the ability to organize and multitask. Because I feel like when we were, like, teenagers and stuff, or even in college, like, it felt, like,
mhm.
impossible to multitask because it felt like even though there was a little bit more freedom, it felt like it was so much all at once,
Yeah,
where you're less like, "How do I manage
yeah.
this all?" I'm like, "How will I manage this in life? Like, this doesn't make any sense."
Mhm,
Especially when people tell you, like, "Hey, this is what you have to expect when you get older," which it still does feel like a lot sometimes, but I feel like now we have more it's almost like our brain has a better understanding to kind of assess and, like and
mhm.
manage stuff a little bit better now, which is good.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
and definitely managing emotions, improved capacity for complex thinking has definitely been a big thing. I feel like my brain's expanded a lot with that, especially when it comes to work because I've had to, I've picked up a lot more skills with work, especially my new job
Mhm.
that I don't think I would have thought that I would have had even the capacity to learn that much, and it's kind of interesting how much I've learned, in, like, just a couple months, and then
Yeah,
more stuff of now ideas I have going forward for work, and
I
just outside of it
agree.
for the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely learned, I've been at my current job for 6 years now, and I've definitely learned a lot of things that are like, "I never thought I'd learn how to do that."
Like, just you're working with venomous snakes.
Exactly, that was one of the big things, and, I was like, "Oh, okay." They were like, "Do you wanna learn?" I was like, "Okay." So,
Yeah, and you learned it, and now you're amazing at it. Get
well,
snaky friends.
I'm still working. Don't
But
jinx
you
me.
learned it, which is important. No, you got snaky friends.
Don't jinx.
Sneaky snakes. What else is there? What does this say? Speeds up there's enhanced white matter development. Speeds
Ooh.
up communication between brain regions, so I guess faster thinking maybe?
That I'm
And
gonna
understanding
disagree with
social
because it takes
norms.
me forever to make a decision.
I mean, I'm just indecisive by nature, so I feel you on that. Because 'cause I'm like, I'd rather have somebody else make the decision. It's just hard when it comes to stuff where you're like, "I have to make this by myself," and
Ugh.
it's sort of like, your brain's almost airing out with, like, a dial-up tone, trying to
Mhm.
think or trying to math, and you're like,
The noise in my head constantly is from the Me waiting room noise.
"Oh my god."
That's the noise that plays in my head on a loop all the time.
I love that. I'm gonna add that in there. We waiting music.
Do
Just be like
do do do
I'm trying to
do
remember
do
what
do do
do
do do
do
do.
do 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 do. Do you also used to torment the Miis and your, like, little, you remember, like, and they had, like, all your Miis are in, like, one place and you could throw them?
And you could, like, poke them and they'd, like, run away?
Yeah. It was almost
Yes!
like the same way you could torture The Sims, but on the
I
Wii.
never played that.
We have to play it sometime. We'll play it next time. I have it on my computer.
Okay.
I can get you it for your birthday
I don't know.
or your early Christmas gift.
You have to pay for it?
Well, and so they have it now where if you go on Steam, you can buy all like, you know how Sims had, like, separate discs for stuff? So, like, there'd be,
No.
like, the
I
basic
never played The
Oh,
Sims.
okay. So they had, like, the basic one that was, like, a starter Sims one for Sims 2. I played a lot in, like, middle school, high school.
I thought it was like
And
a
then
website. Club
no, it's
Penguin.
not. No, I wish. They had the original Sims one, which was more simplified, what Veronica used to play that I'd end up playing after because she had the disc for it. But with the Sims ones, you buy, like, expansion packs, so there would be the main Sims games, there'd be apartment life, there would be, like, IKEA furniture, or stuff like that. They'd have ones with vampires, ones for business. So when Steam I was thinking about buying it again, like, a few years back, and then recently, I wanna say it was, like, maybe a year, 2 ago, they came out with a Sims collection pack you could buy for $30 on Sims and get, sorry, 30 $30 on Steam for all the Sims 2 games and expansion packs,
Okay.
which, that because they cost, like, I think it was, like,
Is that a
$10, like, per game. So
I was
if you
gonna
thought
say, is
about
that a
collecting
good
all of
deal?
them, it was a good deal, it's a very good deal because I think, like, was it, Sims games, Steam. Trying to remember how much it would cost for all of them.
Do we wanna stay on
I think it
topic?
was like huh?
Do we wanna stay on topic?
Oh, yes, we should stay on topic.
Okay.
Alright,
We can cut that
oh, yeah,
out.
we should read actually we should read some of the reading facts actually, which I think we have in the chat if you wanna start with it, and we can make some comments on it.
Sure.
Oh, it
Alright.
disappeared.
Our first reading fact is reading is highly beneficial for mental health and overall improvement, as 6 minutes of daily reading can reduce stress by up to 68%. It enhances cognitive function, builds empathy, and slows age related cognitive decline. Engaging with books improves sleep, reduces anxiety, and boosts overall mood. I agree with that.
I agree with that too. I feel like since I started up reading again and, like, blowing through one book, which I wouldn't normally do, it's, I feel like it's almost been my way of decompressing a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, same.
Let's see. Stress reduction. Yeah, reading is more effective and faster at reducing stress than walking, drinking tea, or listening to music. It lowers heart rate and eases muscle tension.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like reading could do that too, but I feel like also like the listening to music though helps as well.
mm,
Just with like a good playlist and stuff, like good music,
yeah.
kind of like or the calming like lo-fi music.
Have
Or
you
to a degree,
noticed,
it's
like,
definitely
I don't know about you, but I have to be like, the conditions from when I read have to be perfect. Like, I can't have noise around, or if there is noise around, it's noise I'm not paying attention to. Like, I have to have the right amount of lighting. Like, I have to be in the
perfect
mood.
read
Like,
space.
yes, I need the conditions to be correct.
I can sometimes, I was sitting and reading, like, this weekend, or, like, last weekend, most likely with Zach, and, he was, like, just, watching, like, a video on TV, and I was or watching YouTube on TV, and I was, like, reading, and it's not, like, too bad if, like, the noise is down enough. Like, I can sometimes block it out, but I also get, like, distracted. But I can usually, I can sometimes zone it out, but I like if I'm in, like, a nice, not too bright room, or if I'm in my bed and I have, it's a cozy blanket on and I have, my water nearby and I have, the book and just that kinda stuff, I feel like it makes the reading go I can read a lot faster and pay more attention to it that way. So that's helped, a lot, and I get lost in it, read all and also I feel like I make a lot of faces when I'm reading a good story, especially for, the drama content in it. Do you ever do that where you, make a face and you're like, "Oh my god, they said that or they did this?"
Hey guys, Liz here. So I just wanted to let you know that unfortunately, Paige ended up having a power outage on her end. She does have the power back now, but unfortunately at that time we couldn't finish the rest of the recording. So I'm just wrapping up the episode here. We will be doing another episode soon, and I will be talking about one of my favorite reads at the current moment, which is Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood. So if you ever get a chance, please check out her work. And I hope to have more content for you soon, both on TikTok and Instagram. So feel free to follow us and give our other episodes a listen. And thank you again for staying tuned. And please, definitely comment below and share what your favorite current reads are and what you liked back in middle school and high school for reading, whether it's YA novels or sci-fi or romantasy. We would love to hear all about it. So stay tuned for more and hope you're all staying safe with the snow and have a great week. Bye.